Have you ever made a decision and then wondered why? You chose that coffee, took that job, fell for that person. And somewhere deep inside, a quiet voice asks, was that really me? Welcome to the hidden world of the human mind, where patterns run deeper than thoughts, where emotions speak louder than logic, and where your brain is doing far more work than you will ever consciously know. Today, we explore the secret architecture of human behavior, the invisible forces that shape every choice, every relationship, every moment of your life. By the end of this journey, you will never see yourself or anyone else quite the same way again. Part 1. The Unconscious Mind. Scientists estimate that 95% of our cognitive activity happens below the level of conscious awareness. That means nearly everything you do, the way you walk, the words you choose, the people you trust, is guided by a mind that works in silence. Think about the last time you drove to a familiar place. You arrived, and you can barely remember the journey. Your conscious mind was somewhere else entirely, planning tomorrow, reliving yesterday, while your unconscious handled every turn, every break, every split-second decision. This is not a glitch. This is efficiency. Your brain automates patterns so that your conscious mind can focus on what is new, what is challenging, what matters most in the moment. But here's where it gets fascinating. Your unconscious mind was trained. Every experience you have ever had, every person who shaped you, every wound and every wonder, all of it became programming, and most of us are running code we have never even seen. Part 2. Cognitive biases, the invisible filters. Here's a question. Do you consider yourself a rational person? Most people say yes, and yet cognitive psychology has identified over 180 distinct mental shortcuts called cognitive biases that distort our perception of reality every single day. Take confirmation bias. Once you believe something about yourself, about the world, about another person, your brain begins filtering information. It highlights what confirms your belief. It minimizes and dismisses what contradicts it. You are not lying to yourself on purpose. Your brain is simply protecting a model of reality it has already built. Then there's the anchoring effect. If someone tells you this product normally costs $500, but today it's only $199, that original number becomes an anchor. Your brain compares everything to it. The first number was probably arbitrary, but it shaped your entire perception of value. And perhaps most powerful of all, the halo effect. When we find one thing attractive or admirable about a person, their appearance, their confidence, their voice, we unconsciously assume they are good in other ways too. We fill in the gaps with positive assumptions. It's why we trust beautiful people more. It's why charisma can be more powerful than competence. These biases are not weaknesses. They are remnants of an older mind, a mind that had to make fast decisions with limited information. The problem arises only when we forget they exist. Thoughtfully. Part 3. The Social Animal. Human beings are not isolated minds. We are, at our core, deeply social creatures, and our behavior shifts dramatically depending on who is watching or even who we think is watching. Solomon Ash's famous conformity experiments showed that people will deny what their own eyes see. They will deny obvious truth simply to avoid standing out from a group. Not because they are weak, but because belonging for our ancestors meant survival. Stanley Milgram's obedience studies revealed something even more unsettling. Ordinary, decent people will follow authority figures into extraordinary cruelty when the context gives them permission. The line between following orders and personal moral failure is thinner than we would like to believe. But social psychology reveals our beauty. The people around you are not just part of your environment, they are part of your nervous system. We are wired for coordination, for shared reality, for connection. We heal each other, we grow each other, we become each other. Engaging in introspection. Part 4. The language of emotions. Every emotion you have ever felt is data. Not a problem to be solved, not a storm to be survived. Data. Fear is telling you something might be threatening. Anger is telling you a boundary has been crossed. Sadness is telling you something mattered. Anxiety is your mind rehearsing for an uncertain future, trying in its own exhausting way to protect you. The problem is not emotions. The problem is emotional patterns, habitual ways of responding to our inner world that were learned, often long ago, in circumstances very different from the ones we face today. Research on emotional intelligence reveals that self-awareness, the ability to notice your own emotional states without being consumed by them, is one of the most powerful predictors of life success, more than IQ, more than technical skill. When we learn to name what we feel, the rational, decision-making part of our brain becomes more active. The alarm system becomes less reactive. Naming calms the storm. Language is, in some profound way, emotional medicine. And attachment theory tells us this: the way you learn to love as a child becomes a template, a script. You carry it into every relationship, looking for familiar feelings, recreating familiar dynamics, sometimes with people who are nothing like who you truly want. Inviting change and self-discovery. Part 5. The programmer behind the code. So what do we do with all of this? The answer is not to distrust your mind. The answer is to know it. Awareness is the first revolution. When you begin to notice the patterns, when you catch yourself in a confirmation bias, feel the pull of a cognitive shortcut, recognize the echo of an old emotional script, something shifts. You are no longer only the pattern, you become the one who sees the pattern. And in that space between stimulus and response, what Viktor Frankl called our ultimate human freedom, you can choose differently. This doesn't happen overnight. The mind is a living landscape shaped by decades of experience, but neuroplasticity, the brain's remarkable ability to rewire itself, tells us that change is always possible. New thoughts, practiced consistently, become new pathways. New pathways become new patterns. New patterns become a new life. You are not your programming. You are the programmer. The mind that can deceive itself is also the mind that can illuminate itself. The same brain that runs on autopilot can learn to pause, to question, to grow. And that, perhaps, is the most extraordinary pattern of all. Thank you for exploring the depths of the human mind with us today. If this journey resonated with you, share it with someone who might need to hear it. Subscribe for more explorations into psychology, behavior, and the beautiful, complex world within. Because the most important thing you will ever study is yourself.